when we take a look at this video, the purpose is to go through order of operations, your PEMDAS steps, steps you've done before, but we want to start taking a look at things we now know, things we can start putting in with it. We try to remember this as PEMDAS, or please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. That tells us the order in which the operations must get done when you have an expression or an equation with multiple operations. So what this has to be is parentheses first, and it has to be anything with that around it, or that around it. Our second rule with this is we always work inside out. Because what may happen is you may have multiple parentheses. They're called nested. It may be inside each other. Exponents, the little number that's at the top. Please remember that 4 to the second is not 8. Too many kids say, oh, 4 and 4 give me 8. That's not true. 4 times 4 is 16. So please remember that exponents are that number times itself. Where things get tricky, and it's not very tricky, but it happens. Multiply and divide can happen at the same time, and they also may flip their order. Sometimes it's multiply first, sometimes it's divide. My rule is always travel in the expression from left to right. So I must start at the left and start working across, and the first thing I see between these two, is it M or D first? That's the one I have to stick with. The last part is similar, but here's the thing. When we have a subtraction problem, integers, 4 minus 7. What do we change subtraction to anyway? We always turn subtraction to addition. We know how to do that. Always take subtraction, turn to addition, take the object, the item, the term that is next to it, and make it its opposite. What's the opposite of 7? Negative 7. So we know how to always take subtraction and turn to addition. So if we know how to do this, why do we even need the subtraction part? And that's what we're going to work on. We're going to turn everything to addition. That way we don't even need it. We can just say PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear aunt. Why do we have to single her out as Aunt Sally? Can't she just be an aunt? So we're not going to deal with subtraction. There won't be any subtraction by the end. What we're now going to do is take a look at the packet that is assigned for this. Okay, it is lengthy, there's a lot to it, but we need practice. You can't get stronger at doing push-ups like by just talking about push-ups. You actually have to do push-ups, and not just once, but multiple. There are so many variations of problems. I can't give you 3 that takes to put in your notes and say, oh, well, this takes care of everything I'll ever see. So what I'm going to try to do is pick out a few different from the packet that you can kind of follow along while you're doing it, and at least check that we're doing things the right way, but at the same time take care of the general things. First one I'm going to look at is page A, number 6. So if you look at your paper, it's the top right one. Now, something that we're going to do different, and some of you say, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Trust me, I've done this before. It will help us later. We're going to change all subtraction to addition. Notice, I don't have S in my PEMDAS anymore. It's just the A. So first thing we are always going to do is change subtraction, and I'm going to change it into addition. It will help later. So if I take a look at this expression, 13 times 11, and we should get used to putting dots instead of the times, minus 18 divided by 3. So I'm immediately going to take care of all subtraction, turn to addition. This is subtraction. Turn to addition. The next term, the next thing that is after it, to the right, needs to get changed into its opposite. What is the opposite of 18? Good thing we did the sideboard. So it's negative 18. If you choose to put parentheses around this, that's up to you. Okay? So now I take a look and I want to go through my order of operations. Yes, I will need to see step-by-step work. I do not just want the answer. Some of you just heard me, but say, you know what, I'm just going to do the answer anyway. I'll turn it back to you. Don't go through the whole packet just putting the answer. So are we ready? So I have times, I have multiply, I have addition and division. So I go down through my list. Any parentheses? Yeah, I wrote in parentheses, but inside the parentheses there's no operation, so parentheses is done. Are there any exponents? No, they're done. Multiply, divide. Start at the left, start working across. Which do I come across first? Oh, there's multiply, so I'm going to handle multiply first. So I take 13 times 11. I can do it off to the side if I need to, or you can use your calculator to help with your calculation. It doesn't matter. That's what calculators do. So that's 13, that's 0, that's 13. So I have 143. 143. I will copy the rest of the expression down because it has not changed. This is 13 times 11. This 13 and 11 have now merged into the number 143. So my next line down, I still need to write the rest of this. Yes, you do. Plus, negative 18, divide by 3. This is your next line down. Every line we write, you're only allowed to change one thing. I got rid of one operation. So I took care of multiply. So now I look through this new expression and say, do I have any division? Yes, I do, right here. So I am going to take care of that. 143, that stays unchanged. Plus, what is negative 18 divided by 3? The answer is negative 6. Different signs always gives me a negative answer. If this works right, by the end, I should only have addition. That's kind of why we're doing the change. So I have this, 143 plus negative 6 is 137. Put a box around it so we can split out your answer. If I check my handy dandy answer key, hold on a second. My handy dandy answer key, which is attached to this file, yes it is, it's 137. So that means I'm in the right ballpark. You will need to show each line being rewritten. You are allowed to take care of one operation for each line. Okay? Next one is page D, number 4. Page D, number 4. In parentheses, 8 times 6 minus 9 to the second plus 8. So I want to take care of parentheses. Sometimes there's a couple operations inside parentheses. So once you are inside the parentheses, then you have to follow order of operations. So inside parentheses, I have three operations. I have times, I have subtract, which we're going to change here in a second, and I have exponents. So you have to decide, okay, from here down, what am I going to follow first? Let's go back and do our change. Do I change subtraction to addition? Yes, here is subtraction, so I turn to addition. Now watch. What item comes directly after the subtract sign? Please, if you say 9, you're incorrect. 9 does not come after the subtract sign. What comes after it is 9 to the second power. That's what I want, 9 to the second power. I want the opposite of whatever 9 to the second power is. So you have to pay attention. The 9 did not change. 9 to the second changed. So I want whatever that value is, and I want the opposite of it. Okay, so I changed. I'm ready to do inside the parentheses. I do have exponents, so let's take a look. I want the opposite of whatever 9 squared is. Well, 9 squared is 81. What is the opposite of 81? Negative 81. So this is worth negative 81. I still must fill in the rest of the items. I still have a plus sign, I still have a 6, I still have a times 8. I still have my parentheses because I have not finished all the operations inside. And I still have a plus 8 on the outside. What do I have? I still have parentheses, so I work inside the parentheses. Now I have times and add. Multiply comes next. So this is 48 plus negative 8 plus 8. Sorry, plus 81. What am I missing? 81. I knew it didn't look right. So there's my 81. Took care of the multiply inside the parentheses. Next up, I still have parentheses in my expression. So now I have to take care of this. Okay? Add up these. I can use a calculator if I want. I can subtract them over here because when I have different signs, I subtract them. So this is 7, this is 11, this is 3 and 33. 8, 9, 10, 11, so I have negative 33 here, plus 8. By the end, I should end up with only addition if things go right. Again, no subtraction. Negative 33 plus 8, again, they're different signs, so I subtract them. So that gives me negative 25. Excuse me, check my handy dandy answer key. This is number 4, and sure enough, I get negative 25 as my answer. So again, inside parentheses, follow order of operations. When you get a subtract in front of an exponent, careful. When I turn it to addition, I want the opposite of whatever this exponent is worth. This was worth 81, so I want the opposite of 81, which is negative 81. Okay, last one is going to be page I, number 10. Page I, number 10. We're going to go quicker just for time constraints. Remember, you can pause these videos. It's a video, it's YouTube. You can stop at any time you want to catch up. Here we go. Change subtraction to addition. I have subtraction here, so this becomes plus. What is the object directly beside it? Is it positive 2? So I want the opposite of that, so that's negative 2. Over here I have subtraction. I turn to addition. What object comes directly after it? 2? No, incorrect. It's 2 to the second power. So I want the opposite of this answer. 2 to the second we know is going to be 4, so eventually I'm going to want the opposite of 4. So I need to do parentheses first. Well, I have parentheses here, but I also have parentheses inside, so this becomes work inside out. So I'm going to work with my inside-most parentheses first. So I take care of what's in parentheses. 11 plus negative 2 is 9. I still have an exponent of 2 that gets attached to it. Where do these parentheses go? They disappear because I took care of everything inside of it. I still have a big parenthesis outside. I still have a times 7. I have a plus 5 plus the opposite of whatever 2 squared is. In the parentheses, I have multiple operations, so I'm taking care of exponents, always goes before multiply, and I look over here, working top down, E is always before M, so inside this is 81 times 7 plus 5 plus negative. I want the opposite. Now, because I put parentheses here, and the reason I did is so that you understand that it's the opposite of what 2 squared is. I can technically do this now as well. If it's the same thing and it's not beside each other, I can take care of it. 2 squared is 4. So I want the opposite of 4. I still have parentheses, so I got to take care of 81 times 7. 81 times 7. 756, 567, plus 5, plus negative 4. So now I'm here and I have everything left as addition, which is what I want. Addition should be my final step. When it's all addition, this is nice because I can do it all at once. I'm allowed to add a ton of numbers together and it won't change anything. Okay, so let's take care of the small numbers first. 5 plus negative 4 is positive 1. Positive 1 added on to this would be 568. Double check my handy dandy answer key. This is page I. Let me find page I. This is number 10. Sure enough, 568. So again, this is a glimpse into some different variations of PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear aunt. There are a lot of different variations, but these main things, these main changes will help us.